We want you to know that you're not alone and to realize your real estate vision. Community partnerships are essential. Partnerships with your bank, your neighbors, and ultimately your real estate professional.
To do so, experts in the affordable housing space, wealth principles, collaboration with businesses and philanthropic organizations, all in an effort to continue this meaningful transformation and enrich the lives of those we serve. We are here. We are in it. The endeavor to do better, to be better, to produce meaningful environments from the rubble of their individual situations and circumstances. To say proudly, it can be done. It can be done because we did it. And we can do it in your situations as well if you are willing to do the work.
Well, hello, everyone. This is another edition of Realty, Resources and Reality. And there's so much to cover under those topics. Thank you all for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. You know, we want to get this show out to more people. And I want you to make sure that you get the information, but you also put the information in action and share it with others. So this is another day. You know, I am stuck on this deed theft or title theft. I'm really stuck on that because I don't think many people know about it. As a matter of fact, I run around and I just kind of mention it and talk about what this show has been talking about, and people don't know. So today we're going to give you more information, a little bit more about how this works and how it came about. And then we're also going to discuss what you can do to protect yourself and to protect your property. Again, this show is Realty, Resources, and Reality. And we want to know what you want to know about. There's so many topics related to real estate that we can discuss that we, will have a lot of time discussing. I'm certainly looking forward to the next two shows. The broker of record, Michael Williams, will be sitting in for me, and he's going to bring you some things that are going on and resources that are available right here in the Atlanta area. So please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because when you do that, you can make sure that you get the information that you need to be able to tune in when we're live, which is a great thing. And if you can't do it when we're live, please catch the replay, share it, pin it, and let everybody know what's going on. So again, today we're going to go back to the topic, or continue on the topic, should I say, of deed theft. And we're going to go into a quick break. And when we come back, I hope you will like, share, and subscribe in that period of time. And then when we come back, we will delve into the issue a little bit more. We'll be right back.
Why real estate professionals across North America are choosing Exit Realty.
Because of Exit, I am completely debt-free.
Myself and my family have been able to achieve financial freedom.
I am earning more than I ever thought possible.
The Exit formula was actually created to be the solution in the real estate industry to address all the problems. For agents, In the beginning, they need steady, consistent paychecks. Exit has something that is a key differentiator. We provide residual income.
Do the job once and get paid over and over. Fill in the gaps between commissions and create the life you always wanted. Learn how you can have more. Text 4MM to 85377.
What if you really could have it all?
At Exit Realty,
We believe
the home you want
is right there.
right there.
And we'll help you find it.
You can count on us.
And you thought we just sold real estate.
We are Exit Realty. Think smart.
Think Exit.
So today we're going to delve into a little bit more detail about how this deed theft or title theft happens. So I want to share with you a video that I found on YouTube, which is really great in explaining how we go about how this happens. So let's do this. We'll stop a little bit and talk a little bit, and then I will definitely give you those resources again, as I did before, on how you can stop this. Let's. Uh-oh.
Like
I thought I was sharing it, but I'm not. Hold on one second.
Fastest growing schemes, one of your most home title theft, or go out and buy title fraud insurance. Let's step back for a moment, understand what's really happening, how it could affect you, and whether or not purchasing some kind of title monitoring or insurance is even necessary. Guys, it's Josh here from All Things Secured, where I cover various topics related to your personal privacy and digital security. This whole home title fraud stuff first came to my attention when talking to my dad, who I think had heard about it from an advertisement on radio or TV. I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that there were some big advertising campaigns playing all over the US last year. Anyway, the more that I dug into this, it's clear why people like my dad are worried. I mean, who would want to suddenly be evicted from their own house after being shocked with the news that they no longer own it? Or perhaps find yourself in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt on a home collateral loan that you didn't authorize. I mean, that's some pretty scary stuff. And before I can break down not only why this isn't the fastest growing scam right now, but also why you don't need to be worried about it as much as it seems, let's take a look at how this kind of fraud works. You might be surprised.
So before we go in,
to learn that your house title isn't an actual document. Your deed is a legal document, but a title is defined as the legal right to ownership, the right to sell it. So perhaps this should be called home deed fraud instead of home title fraud. Whenever you bought your house, the title company does extensive due diligence to make sure that the seller actually has the ownership right to sell that home and that there aren't any other legal claims on the property. Mortgage lenders, title companies, and even real estate firms have so many checks and balances in place to make sure that when a house is bought or sold, there isn't any kind of fraud involved, because a lot of times they would be on the hook for that, not you. But even more important than that, you need to understand this very basic principle. When any kind of title fraud happens, it's not legal. It's a crime. I mean, somebody tried to steal actress Halle Berry's house in Los Angeles a few years ago, and guess what? He was arrested and charged with forging a fraudulent document. That's it. End of story. So if somebody randomly shows up at your door one day claiming to have purchased your
okay, I am just messing up here for some reason today, but we're going to get it. As we go on, we will learn how to do this more. So give me 1 second. Let me get the screen back up. Share it. Aha, there we go. Let's do another screen so the Be a little bigger. There we go. And we're off.
Like that. And it really catches your attention, doesn't it? The fastest growing schemes, one of your most valuable assets being stolen from right under your nose, home title theft, or go out and buy title fraud insurance. Let's step back for a moment, understand what's really happening, how it could affect you, and whether or not purchasing some kind of title monitoring or insurance secured, where I cover various topics related to your personal privacy and digital security. This whole home title fraud stuff first came to my attention when talking to my dad, who I think had heard about it from an advertisement on radio or TV. I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that there were some big advertising campaigns playing all over the.
Okay, let me stop it right there because I want you to kind of catch up with where we were. And I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, but as we are doing this, I'm learning more and you're learning more. So we're going to get it together. But first of all, he talked about the fact, like his dad heard about this deed theft issue and got really excited about it. And I still am. I think what he is going to talk about also is the reality that, of course, when there's a problem, there are people who want to, I'm not going to say scam you, but take advantage of that problem and you use it to their own advantage. And that is that there are companies out there that will sell you some sort of identity, the deeds theft, etc. Now, there are companies out there that help you with identity theft and fraud that can do monitoring for you and help you if you find that you have a problem. However, there's also companies now that are looking into this deed theft thing because it's such a big issue. Let me make sure I can get my cursor over here. It's such a big issue that they think that you need that. And he's telling you it's probably not needed. And today, before we end the show, I'm going to show you how you can be alerted, because just having those policies is not going to necessarily correct the problem. You need to know there's a problem and you need to be able to get on it right away. But anyway, let's go play a little bit more.
The U.S. last year. Anyway, the more that who would want in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt on a home collateral loan that you didn't authorize? I mean, that's some pretty scary stuff. Before I can break down not only why this isn't the fastest growing scam right now, but also why you don't need to be worried about it as much as it seems, let's take a look at how this kind of fraud works. You might be surprised to learn that your house title isn't an actual document. Your deed is a legal document, but a title is defined as the legal right to ownership of a property, including the right to sell it. So perhaps this should be called home deed fraud instead of home title fraud. Whenever you bought your house, the title company does extensive due diligence to make sure that the seller actually has the ownership right to sell that home, that there aren't any other legal claims on the property. Mortgage lenders, title companies, and even real estate firms have so many checks and balances in place to make sure that when a house is bought or sold, kind of fraud involved, because a lot of times they would be on the hook for that, not you. But even more important than that, you need to understand this very basic principle. When any kind of title fraud happens, it's not legal. It's a crime. I mean, somebody tried to steal actress Halle Berry's house in Los Angeles a few years ago, and guess what? He was arrested and charged with forging a fraudulent document. That's it. End of story. So if somebody randomly shows up at your door one day claiming to have purchased your house, you have every right to be freaked out for just a moment. And then after you take a breath and collect yourself, realize that they were the ones that got conned, not you. If the new deed is in fact fraudulent, then a bank can't come after you for fraudulent borrowing. Again, that's on them, not you. Now, if that's not enough to ease your concerns, check this out. In the most recent FBI Internet Crime Report, you can see here that of all the different kinds of threats that we face, and there's a lot of them, real estate-related crime is pretty low on the list. And that number you see there of 11,578 cases, that's actually down from the year before, not up. Here's the final nail in the coffin. what the FBI refers to as real estate fraud includes even rental and timeshare crimes. So home title fraud represents just a small fraction of this already small number. I mean, don't get me wrong. It sucks if you're one of those people who has to prove that you still own your own home. But you probably have greater risk of being kidnapped during vacation.
So I agree with that. What he's saying is it's not the biggest thing that can happen to you. It's not something that is so rampant that everyone will get it. But look at that whole list of things that you can find in fraudulent activity. The problem is, no matter what it is, whether it's real estate or some other avenue, there's always a potential that someone can steal your property, whether it's money or whether it's that home or investment property that you have. And so what we want to do is make sure that you're not one of those few people who end up having that problem. And one way to do it is to make sure that you can get your property registered. And I'm going to give you some information on that, on how you can register your property and make sure that when or if something like that happens, and even one of the resources will tell you about liens that may not even have to do with your property. It's just something that comes up in your name that you may not be aware of. We're going to go into a little bit more and hear a little bit more from him when we get back. Thanks. We're back and we're going to continue on and hear what he has to say. Kind of took the temperature level down on the property deed theft, but not for me, because I want to make sure that everyone gets those resources that we have and make sure that they can. Okay, I'm having cursor problems here. Let's see. Here we go. Make sure that we can protect ourselves. And here we go. Where is the cursor? It's here. I want it to be over here. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, wait. Oh, you can buy insurance for kidnapping? Okay, well, make it ease. And if that's what you want, go for it. But at the end of the day, they're only going to alert you after the title has been fraudulently transferred. And frankly, most counties now offer this as a free service anyway. I just went online myself and searched for the name of my county along with the term.
All right, we're gonna have to figure this out.
5 minutes, I'd register with
that
my
I
home
can't
county,
get everybody
notified if any document
hit my
is
screen
reported with
correct.
my name on it. Listen, the people who are most risk for this kind of fraud, and hear me clearly, I said the most of a very small risk, fall into three categories. Those who have paid off their mortgage entirely, those houses that are currently unoccupied and not monitored, And finally, the elderly. Although if you're watching this video right now, the fact that you're wanting to be vigilant about your protection and you're going to guy they interviewed in the news clip that I shared at the top of this video, he's a senior advisor for Home Title Lock, a company that profits off of any fear or uncertainty that people have about their home title. So as you can imagine, it's in his best interest to tell you that this kind of fraud is a big deal. You should be scared and you should pay somebody to help. It's a shame that I have to remind you and myself to be skeptical of outrageous claims meant to instill fear, yet it continues to happen every single day. If this video was helpful and you want more practical, easy to understand advice.
Okay, so getting back to our topic of the day. So what he was saying, and I'm sorry I was having a little bit of technical difficulty, that he was really pushing the fact that you should use your counties, your county alert systems, and that is a free way to help protect your property. And that's what he was saying. So let's go back and revisit a story that we played for you before, and then we're going to get into the use of the systems that you have available to you right here, right now in the state of Georgia. It was a long time coming, and many of the county clerks across our state advocated for it because they frankly don't have a way to be able to help you. Let's see if I can get my cursor over here. Here we go. Uh-oh. All right, here we go again. Let me do this. See if I can stop it. Give me 1 second here.
The new owners.
Douglas County Clerk of Superior and State Courts, Annetta Danley Stembridge, says, unfortunately, at that point, there's nothing her office can do about it.
You cannot touch that document if it meets the legal criteria for that document to be filed.
Sometimes it takes months for the real homeowner to get their house back. Sometimes years. Sometimes they never get it back.
They will remodel the home, sell it again before they even know that somebody's stolen their property.
So that's on Fox 5 Atlanta, and all of the news stations, frankly, have done this. Please make sure you sign up for the alert, and I'm going to give it to you, the two that I have. One is Fulton County. That's the second one I'm showing, but the first one is the statewide alert system. You want to make sure that you sign up with that statewide alert system. It only takes a few minutes of your time to do that, as well as your county. My county's Fulton County. You may be Douglas, Gwinnett, Cobb, whatever your county is. Please make sure you find out. Go to their website or just Google deed registration in your county's name. Google it. It may come up, or like I said, you can go straight to your county's website to do that. We'll be right back, and I hope, even though I had a lot of technical difficulties, that you were able to get the information. Number one, it's not a major issue, but it is an issue. I believe that those who are elderly, who own their homes free and clear, are vulnerable. If you have a vacant house or vacant property, that is very vulnerable. I did have another story, which I wasn't able to find before we start, that talked about even high-end properties, how people, there's a group that call themselves the sovereign citizens, and they were going around doing this deed theft, and then they got caught. And then the next thing you know, they got out of it and they went back and they did the stuff again. And now not only has the state created this alert system, but they've also made it a felony when they catch people who do that. We'll be right back.
They want to work smarter. They want to have a great work-life balance, but they also want to change the world. And they want to do their part in changing the world. They want to embrace a company that cares. And now with the opportunity for residual income, they can create anything. Forget about Game Changer. This is, without question, a life changer for the business. Okay, we're back. I hope you were able to pick out some nuggets from what we did, even despite our technical difficulties. On the screen, you see the statewide alert, and please jot that down. Take a few minutes of time. It doesn't hurt anything. It helps you. And then if you're in Fulton County, I put down their alert system. And again, whatever county you reside in, please make sure that you register. You want to be alerted, because what happens is when you get the alert that something is happening, I mean, it can even come to your cell phone. You know, we all use our phones, and that's where everything is. You lose your phone, you almost feel like you lost your whole life because everything is in there. But your phone, you have it with you most of the time. You will be notified immediately, and then you can take the steps of calling a real estate attorney or whoever you need to call to make sure you get that reversed. What you don't want to do is to allow someone to do this, you not know about it, and you only find out about it years down the line when you're either trying to refinance, or if you had that vacant property, you're trying to sell it to someone to find out that on paper you are not the owner. But there have been people who have actually lost their properties to this theft. So we want to make sure that you are informed. That's what we're about here at Exit Realty West Midtown. We want to be a resource to you, our community. We want to bring up topics that you are concerned about. Hey, I would like for you to join me on the show. So if you could please like this video. We need to get it in the algorithm so other people can see it, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Hit all notification buttons so you're notified. If you can't catch it, you know what? At the live time, then you can catch it on the replay. Every view counts. Thank you so much for joining us again. We'll have another informative show. You will be amazed by our broker of record who has a heart for the community, Mr. Michael Williams, who will do the next 2 shows, and then I'll be back with you. We will see you next time here on Realty, Resources, and Realities.
They want to work smarter. They want to have a great work-life balance, but they also want to change the world. And they want to do their part in changing the world. They want to embrace a company that cares. And now with the opportunity for residual income, they can create anything. Forget about game changer. This is without question a life changer for the business.